I'm actually not sure if everything is going correctly. Give me a second. I need to figure out a better... The YouTube events thing is so difficult to use unnecessarily. Oh, okay, so you can't hear me. I'm actually not sure if... Okay. Hi, everyone. How's it going? You guys ready for another episode of The Lone Clone? Another episode of the world's greatest podcast ever? Oh my god. I'm so liberated now. I have all the time in the world. All the time in the world to do whatever I want since I finished that Thor video. I guess that's the first thing to talk about, right? Since the last episode, what I need to do is turn down the stupid music for me, but turn it up for you guys. These jazzy tunes are great, by the way. I use the same like jazzy tune track for every episode of Blockheads, and still, it's just phenomenal. Anyhoozle. So yeah. Let me just... No, that's filter. We got a filter. I gotta figure out a better way of doing this. Maybe this... Oh, no, not that. That might be a little better. Anyway. How's it going, guys? I'm ready to stream. So yeah, the Thor video. That was kind of the first thing that happened, right? Oh, man, that took a while. That took a while. I just found a tweet the other day that I tweeted back in like December 2016, and I said I'm gonna remake the Thor Ragnarok trailer, and the whole goddamn cast is gonna see it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. To my knowledge, none of them have seen it. But that's fine. You know, that's just a nice thing to have, potentially. So maybe not the most successful in that department, but I did get the video out, and doing all right for views. I don't know. I'm just fine that it's out now. It's just a big weight off my chest. You know, I've been working on that. I've been planning to work on that thing since like May or March or something like that, when the first trailer came out, the teaser, I guess. And from there, I don't know, I just kept putting it off more and more until like June, I think. I finally ordered like the pieces from the new set, or I ordered the Thor Ragnarok set, the arena one. And from there, I got the stuff and I was about to get ready, and I was actually like setting up some stuff for the first shot where Thor's like, you know, spinning in that little chain, that little bit of chain. The opening shot from the first trailer, the teaser. And then I think Comic-Con happened, right? And so Thor, the actual trailer came out. And so I was quite glad. You know, this is one of the good times when being a procrastinator really helped me out. Because I didn't have to worry about doing the teaser now. Now I could do the whole trailer, which is probably twice as difficult, twice as time consuming, to be entirely honest. I haven't looked at the teaser in a while now. I've just been watching the main trailer like 40 times. So I can hardly remember what the first one even was, thinking about it now. Anyway, so yeah, that took me a while. I feel like it shouldn't have took as long as it did, but it did. The problem with recreations of trailers is that you have to make a new set for every shot, and you got like 30 or 40 shots, and then that's a recipe for disaster. Not disaster, but a long production cycle, I guess. It's a recipe for a long production cycle. So yeah, that was my main problem. And another big problem I had was Jesus, the editing. There's not a single shot in this trailer that doesn't require some kind of special effect, you know, whether it's mouth animations or keying, lots of green screens, jeez, or masking, or what other kinds of effects, multi-layered stuff. Oh my god, I'm gonna get a headache just thinking about it, but I somehow did it, and I've made about $7 off the video so far, so I guess that's a plus. That's better than I thought. I thought the video would get totally copyrighted. However, the issue being that the comparison video got copyrighted, which was definitely expected. I was like for sure, like, okay, if one of them's gonna get cut, it's definitely gonna be the comparison one, because that literally has the trailer inside of it. So I wasn't super surprised when it immediately just got copyrighted before I even hit public. Like it got published, and that's it. I got an email right away. Beautiful. Anyway, so aside from that, I was really surprised at the main trailer. I was super paranoid about this, because what happened was with the Iron Man 3 video was the original one didn't get copyrighted for a while, but then the comparison got copyrighted almost like within a few days. But then the comparison blew up, and then like a month after it came out, the original one got copyrighted. So now I'm within that area of time where I'm gonna be super paranoid. And that's why I did like multiple like copyright tests on the second channel. Like I uploaded just straight up the audio, and I just published a video on the second channel, but that was just an unlisted video from when I was also testing out more copyright stuff. People are like, "What? Why are you posting this? Why are you posting this?" I don't care. Anyway. But I feel like I tweeted about this, but today is the first day, or I guess these last few days have been the first days in a while when I feel like I don't have to do anything, like I don't have a project to immediately work on, within, which is what I've been doing every day for the past 2 months. And towards the end, I was really getting a lot of anxiety built up, because it's like, Jesus, I've been spending 2 months on this thing. Then the premiere just happened, and that was kind of like a soft goal of mine, to get it out before the premiere, so then some more hype would be drummed up. But you win some, you lose some. Overall, I think the video turned out pretty well. I mean, like there were a few shots that towards the end that I was getting really tired of, and I just kind of like dipped on that, diphthong. What's a diphthong? I've heard that before. I think it's like multiple consonants. Diphthong. Diphthong, a sound formed by the combination of two vowels in a single syllable, in which the sound begins as one vowel and moves towards another, as in coin, loud, and side. Wait, what? Oh, that's weird. Regardless, that's not the point. The point is today I released a video. Oh my god. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Jesus. Yeah, but yeah, it just felt like this big weight that's been lifted off my shoulders. Like it feels like retirement, like, oh, now I have finally time to read that book I've always wanted to read. I have time to write that script I wanted to write. I have time to play that game I wanted to play, and I don't have to feel guilty about playing it. This is literally retirement. I'm experiencing this at the age of 16. I mean, every day for a while, I feel like I've been experiencing a midlife crisis every day. Like, why? Just what am I doing? Kind of thing. But now I guess I'm experiencing a 3/4 life crisis where it's like I have so much to do, but I don't want to just pick anything and just like start, you know. I don't know what to do from here on. I have an idea. I have a project in mind that I'm going to be starting up, and hopefully this is a pretty short project, but it should be out within the week. I've talked about this before, but if you've ever seen Stamper TV's, I think Circle and Square, or Circle and Triangle. It's not, I think it's called Circle and Square, and Circle and Square 2. They're just like these super simplistic animations of like a circle and a square, just like bopping around, you know, talking to each other. And then the sequel, it becomes like this whole narrative. Oh my god, it's great. I want to do something like that, but with like Lego bricks, you know. I want to get outside of my comfort zone. I want to make a brick film without minifigures. You know, over the course of the next year, I want to do some more outside of the box stuff with brick films. Less superhero stuff, more. I don't want to say original stuff because everyone throws that around. Like, oh, I want to do more original stuff all the time. But do you really? You know, do you really? Well, yeah, people really do want to do more. They want to do more original stuff, but I don't know. It's a weird thing where it's like, you know, there's not really an audience for it. I mean, there's an audience. You've got your quote unquote hardcore audience, but you know, it's not gonna get a lot of views. But who knows? Who knows? It could be the next what's a popular brick film series that's original. I don't know. It could be the next Michael Hickox video. Who knows? That's what I'm going for. By the way, congrats to Michael Hickox. Hickox, is that how you say his name? For getting 1 million subscribers. 1 million subscribers as a brick filmer. That's weird. I don't know. It just goes to show how like niche this whole genre really is of brick filming and other stuff. You know? Like, there are vloggers and gamers who, for a million subscribers, that's like a, you know, that was like a mid-tier goal. You know, it's like, oh, they did that years ago, and now they're on to 5 million, 10 million. It feels like getting 1 million subscribers isn't special anymore, I guess, for, like, regular YouTubers. Like, it's not like a big thing, you know? I mean, for the individual it is, because, like, if you've been building something up for a while and you hit 1 million, it's like a really big milestone. 6 digits. Or I guess 7 digits, technically. 6 zeros. But yeah, everything, I mean, as popularity of YouTube increases, it's something like 2 billion views a month on YouTube, which is asinine. Wait, is it 2 billion views a month? No, 2 billion monthly users, I think. Yeah, monthly unique visitors. So that means like you don't get this. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it feels like as YouTube increases in size, then the more bloated everything gets, and the less special milestones become, you know. Like 10 million still is a fairly exclusive club. I don't think like more than 1,000 creators or more than 10 million. That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot of creators with more than with that many subscribers. Maybe it probably isn't though, because I'm trying to like think of all the channels I know with more than 10 million subscribers, and I can like off the top of my head I can probably only think of like a dozen. But I have to keep in mind that there are genres that I don't watch, you know, like I don't know, like I'm sure there are beauty vloggers with more than 10 million subscribers. I'm sure there are plenty of gamers with over 10 million subscribers. I don't watch too many gamers anymore. I used to a lot, but not anymore. I'm sure there are vloggers that are over 10 million, your Jake Pauls and your other nonsense. Rice Gum's pretty close to hitting 10 million, right? What's he at? Rice Gum. He's at 8.5 million. What does Rice Gum even do? Like, what's his thing? I know he does diss tracks, but like Q&A with my girlfriend, Instagram model, reacting to the new Team 10 house. Mom freaks out over buying $5,000. Okay, that's enough. Rice Gum. Right, rice Gum's a weird thing, isn't it? You know, where it's like, I guess after the content cop, everyone, I don't think anybody really liked Rice Gum ever, you know, aside from his fans, which are like 12-year-olds and younger. But I don't think anybody really liked Rice Gum in the first place. So when iDubbbz did the content cop, everyone was like, thank you. You know, like, yes, this is, I mean, people have done takedown pieces on Rice Gum before. Like, I think Elvis the Alien did something like that, and that's why I first heard about like the rape comments he made. Like, did it feel good though? Just Jesus, that's bad. So, and now that we're removed from it for like, I don't know, a few weeks, it's like, okay, Rice, we get it. The hype cycle over the content cop has dissipated at this point. So that's weird. I keep saying that's weird a lot. I don't know. I'm very tired today. I spent the entire day yesterday. Not the entire day. I spent like 4 hours doing volunteering at this thing called a ski swap, where on Friday, because I live in a ski town, on Friday, everyone, a lot of people who just want to like get rid of, you know, skiing equipment, skis, boots, poles, snowboard stuff, they come in on Friday at the middle school, and we have like this whole gym set up, and they sell it, and then they get like a cut of the money. Like, the people who donated get a cut of the money that they of stuff that they sold, I guess, right? And then but the whole idea is to benefit like the outdoor education programs we have at my school, or in my school district. So like those are the rafting trips and the skiing trips. Actually, we don't have any skiing trips. We do have a ski day every year though in school, like in April, towards the end of the year, where everyone just goes skiing. So that's fun. Even the teachers go skiing. Last year on ski day, I did this thing where there's this one where I live. There's 4 mountains. One of them's Highlands Mountain, and so at the top of Highlands, there's this thing called the Bowl, where you can only get lift service up until like a certain point, and then if you want to hike the Bowl, it's like technically backcountry skiing in a sense. I mean, it's still monitored by ski patrol stuff, but it's not like heavily monitored. And so you have to do like a half an hour to 45-minute hike up to 12,000 feet. Not too well, I mean, you're starting at like 11,000 feet and you're going up another 1,000 feet. So you hike for like 45 minutes, and then you ski down in some of that gnar, some of that powder. So people usually do that on like big powder days when there's a lot of powdery snow. That's fun to ski through. And that was my first time last year, actually. Like, a lot of people do it like when they're young, I found out. Like, there's this one guy I know that did it in 3rd grade for the first time. And I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Because it's like, it's steep, you know? It's really steep. I mean, I'm not a bad skier by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not like it scared me or anything. It's just, you know, I didn't want to hike. Because, you know, ski boots are like 10 pounds, right? They're pretty heavy. Because, you know, it's not like you're walking around a lot. You know, you're going downhill. But if you're if you have to hike uphill in high elevation, also, lugging your your 20-pound pairs of skis on your back, that that's not necessarily an enjoyable experience unless you want to get fit, I guess. So, what was I talking about? Ski day. So I went from let's trace our roots back here, because I think I had a point about something. So I went from ski day. Where did that come from? Outdoor ed, and then ski swap. Okay, so ski swap. So last episode I talked about like getting into the National Honor Society and stuff, I think, and how I thought it was gonna be like difficult and they wouldn't accept me because I'm not enough of a leader, but apparently I got in somehow, and we had like a meeting for all the new members of NHS, which are juniors, and later the following Monday. And man, like half of my grade was apparently a member of NHS now, and that's not like, and I feel like half of my grade applied. Like it was guaranteed. You were guaranteed to get into NHS. So now I feel dumb. That's a lot of sounds. A lot of sounds in the background. Man, that's crazy. How many viewers we got going here? So yeah, so I went to I feel kind of gypped, because I put all this effort into making myself sound better than I actually was, when in reality I probably could have just gotten in regularly. Anyway, so one of the requirements of NHS is that you have to do 25 hours of like 25 service hours, junior and senior year. And so I gotta do service hours, right? So that's stuff like, I don't know, watching, not, kids, like they have the sign up sheet for stuff that you can do. And, like one of the activities you can do is babysit teachers' kids for service hours. And of course you're doing it for free, because, anyway, my point being that I don't want to do service hours. So what I did was I went to the ski swap, and that was double service hours. So that means like if you worked for 1 hour, you got 2 hours on like your transcript. So that was fun, I guess. It was just menial labor. You were in charge of takedown stuff. Like I didn't actually work, like in like sales, like selling stuff to people. My job was to just take down everything, and it took about 4 hours. There was a lot. They put all these skis and stuff into the gym, at the middle school, and they covered the whole gym in carpet so that they did scratch it up with skis and stuff. And oh my god, that was a pain in the ass, because of course everything's duct taped down, so you gotta take all the duct tape off the carpets and then roll up these carpets that are like 10 feet long and 10 feet wide and 30 feet long. So that was a pain, to say the least. Not a big fan of those. So anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm tired. I'm a sore boy today because I did physical labor for free. Sick. But I got double hours for it, so now I have 8 service hours out of the required 25 I need to do this year. So that's my story. I'm also kind of nervous because I have a driving test today. Jesus, driving. It's a whole process. So in Colorado, for driver's ed, you need to take a class. Like, that was actually probably the worst part, taking the class, because it was like from 5 to 8 o'clock on Sunday nights. from like mid-November through early January. God, that was the worst. You had to sit in a classroom with other people and then watch the teacher lecture, and then you took a test, a written test, that is. About, it's all about driving stuff. I took the test the first time, and it's like out of 25 points, and you could only miss 5, and I missed 8 the first time. I think I missed 5 the second time, so I got through. It's like, all right, okay, I guess you can drive now. So then I got my permit January 30th, which already isn't necessarily optimal. Like, the whole idea is you get your permit on your 15th birthday, right? But they didn't have a driver's ed course available for when I would, like, okay, wait. So my birthday's in November, right? So the only other driver's ed courses they had were from like, June to August over the summer, which I'm not going to do. So I had to take the November through January one. So automatically, like on my 15th birthday, I didn't get it. And in Colorado, I don't know what it's like in other states, but you need to have a permit for at least 1 year before you can get your license or before you can take your test. But that's not the only like requirement. Like you need 50 hours in a car supervised with a parent, 40 hours during the day, and at least 10 hours at night. And so, I don't necessarily have a big desire to drive all the time. Like we got a great public transport system here. It's free if you're just going around town. I live in a small town, so if you just want to get around town and stuff, it's a free bus system. You can walk places, you can bike places, you can do other stuff. So it's like I don't need to drive anywhere. But so I guess that's kind of juxtaposed to the general teenage stereotype of like, oh my god, I'm gonna take my test on my 16th birthday so I can get my driver's license right away. And I guess that makes sense in other areas where like things are like if you live in a city where things are far away. And granted, things are far away here too. Like if you want to go like the nearest department store, like a Target or a Walmart, is 40 minutes away, right? The nearest fast food, if you want to do fast food, is at least 25, half an hour away. The only stuff we have in my town are like we have high-end retail, like Gucci. Everyone likes Gucci, right? That's become a big meme amongst the rap boys. Gucci. I'm gonna have a little aside because there's this fun story I have. So there's this guy on my bus, and I never really liked this guy too much. Okay, he moved here in like 8th grade, and I had to sleep in a tent with him. We were tent buddies during like an outdoor education trip, and he was not. He has ADHD, and he told me multiple times, and that was very apparent because he would not shut up about his dad and how loaded he was. How his dad owns like a trucking company or something. And so like he's kind of obnoxious. I take the public bus to school every day because my school is only like half a mile away. And there's this whole thing with the busing system that like the school bus system that's weird and for another day. But this guy likes to take his portable speaker and just blast it on the public bus when there are like 4 people on the bus at 7:40 in the morning. Most of them are just teenagers just trying to get to school. But he takes the public bus too because he lives in a similar area. He's just blasting trap music or not trap music, like mumble rap. And he wears this like trench coat that's like a Gucci trench coat or something, and like a man purse or a satchel, I guess. There's this girl that was that goes on this bus too, and he's like, hey man, how much does that cost? And he's like, oh, it's oh, this Gucci thing was $4,000. Like, Jesus, $4,000. I had half a mind to just say to that girl, hey, I got this Hanes X-Temp shirt at Target for $7.95. Not to brag or anything. Anyway, so yeah, so Gucci. So the only thing we have in my town are like high-end retail, like Gucci, Fendi, Dennis Basso, if you know that. My mom used to work at a lot of these retail stores, and then high-end restaurants as well, like local restaurants, and then we've got expensive hotels, and then like a handful of affordable places that are like kind of expensive by regular people's standards, you know. Like we're talking like $9 for a burger, right? Which isn't like outrageous, but it's just a burger. It's not like it's not like a meal where you get a burger and then fries and stuff, like a big dill pickle on the side. No. It's like just the burger is like $8, $9. So yeah, if you want to get around, it's so we've got plenty of stuff that's far away, but I can see where you're in a city, you're driving around more. Like there are bus stops everywhere around here because it's so small and condensed, I guess. So yeah, I've just never had a need to drive. And if I need to like drive to a specific place, like I have a friend that lives near me that will drive me sometimes. So I'm like, I guess I could just do that if I ever want to be social, on the off chance I want to be social. Regardless. So yeah, I've just kind of been putting off getting my driver's license for the longest time now. It's I got like I said, I got my permit. I turned 15 in November of 2015. So then I was finally eligible to get my permit, but I had to finish the class first and pass the test. So I passed the test early January, and then I got lazy, procrastinatory. So I didn't go to the DMV to get my permit until like the 30th. So, the earliest I could potentially even get a license was January 30th of this year. And like I said, you need 50 hours of supervised driving time with a parent or guardian. I was not a fan of that. By the time January 30th came around of this year, I had about 7 hours, I think, of total driving time. So I just kind of, I figured over the summer I might as well just get it over with. So I banged out the rest of my 50 hours. Probably about 15 of those hours were exaggerated. So in reality, I've probably driven like realistically about 35, 40 hours. But that's fine. It's fine. And so now today oh, and another thing is you need like 6 hours with a driving instructor. But the thing is, this is the fun part. Thing is, if you're 16 and a half in Colorado, you don't need to do those instructor hours. You can just take the test. And so that's pretty great, right? You just get your 50 hours and do the test. Well, I want to do like at least 1 hour to see what they're grading by. Because here, these like driving instructors are the same instructors that do the test. So, I got in contact with one of them, and I got like a 2-for-1 deal where I only need to do like 1 hour. Because I figured it's a good thing to see what kind of criteria that they're judging by. Also practicing to parallel park, because I technically haven't done that yet at all. And so, man, it's a rigmarole. So I'm gonna be taking my my driving test right after I do like an hour of driving with this instructor. So we'll see how that goes, whether that goes anywhere or not. And then I can finally be free. Finally be free at the age 16. Oh my God. Even though I'm almost 17. I'm almost 17. Gee, what is today? Today's the 22nd. That means I have 3 weeks, I think, until my birthday. 4 weeks. A month? No. Calendar. When is my birthday? 17th. So that's 1, 2, yes, 3. So I have like 3.5 weeks until my birthday, and I gotta start binging 16. That was one of my goals. Because do you remember those cartoons? I've talked about this before, but Cartoon Network, at least in America, would always air these in like the early 2010s. They would air these like Canadian produced shows, cartoons like Total Drama Island, most notably, Surf's Up, or no, Stoked, that's what it was called, and there were a few others, but most notably, for me at least, was the show called 16, and I loved that show. Oh my god, that was so cool. 16, time to find my way, got a new job, gonna start at the mall. So, I've always wanted, like, I used to watch it all the time, and for the longest time I've wanted to rewatch it now that I'm like actually that age, and I'm like, whoa, let's see how relatable this stuff is, especially to late 2000s Canadian kids, right? Animated kids. Man, that show is great. I just love the roster. Oh my god, it's great. It's mostly nostalgia. It's probably not that great. Like, what's it even got like on IMDb? 16. It's got 7.4, 3 out of 4 on Common Sense Media. I love Common Sense Media. It's like the Common Sense Media, if you didn't know, is like the website for like parents to make sure if things are appropriate. Common Sense says 16 gets a 3 out of 5 because edgy teen cartoon has some positive messages too. In 2005, positive messages, 2 out of 5. Positive role models and representatives, 1 out of 5. Yeah, the people in this show are pretty terrible. Like, yeah, they're pretty terrible for the most part. There's like the hockey sports girl, and she's like a good role model, I guess. She's a hard worker. And then the black guy Wyatt, who likes to strum on his guitar. He's cool, I guess. But then you've got like the goth girl, Nikki, who's a total. She's like the punk, rocker kind of like I don't care kind of girl. I guess the best word would be like apathetic. Like she just it's great. And then there's Jude, who's like the whoa skater boy whoa guy, and he's pretty lazy. Then there's like who else is there? Oh, there's the girl who works in the lemonade shop, who's like, she's like the she's the really superficial one that's like all into looks and stuff, so she's not a good role model. And then there's the guy with like slightly bluish hair. I can't remember his name. Does he even have blue hair? Yeah, he does. And his whole thing is he just goes from job to job, and he's always trying to scheme people. Anyway, so one of my biggest disappointments of being 16 is not rewatching 16 at all, which is crazy, Like I could actually watch this now and understand it somewhat, Tisk tisk. Anyway, so I still have 3.5 weeks to binge all 95 episodes. God damn it! I gotta watch that show like every day now. What have I been watching? I've been trying to catch up on Silicon Valley, which is a great show. I do that. I was busting through Silicon Valley while I was editing Thor. So that's fun. Anyway, how long have we been streaming here? We've been going for about 41 minutes. I think I'll open it up to questions now. If you guys want to ask any questions at all, oh my god, it'd be great. You can ask questions if there's still people here. Apparently there's 6 people watching. So if anyone wants to ask a question, go ahead. This is the live questions portion of the chat. Um, I guess nothing really happens when you turn 17, right? Except for the one thing, in America. You can watch R-rated films alone, unsupervised. I feel like half the movies I've actually wanted to see over the course of like the past 2 years have been R-rated, and none of my friends or my parents like want to go. So I'm just kind of like stranded for the most part, you know, on what I want to see. Like I want to see Blade Runner, but my dad already saw it in Vegas. My mom already saw it. None of my friends really want to see it, and so I'm screwed basically. So there's probably no chance I'll ever be able to see Blade Runner in theater unless I sneak in, which not possible because the only movie theater near me doesn't really have, or what I could do, figure out a time slot for a movie that's near the time slot I want to see for Blade Runner, and then buy a ticket for that and then just sneak in. The problem would then be that they always have like these guys that like patrol the R-rated theaters to make sure that like the kid, there aren't any kids, but I think I could pull off being 17, you know? Because like there's this bus system. And if you want to like this bus system I was mentioning earlier. And if you want to go long distances, you have to like pay for stuff, but you get $1 off if you're 16 and under. And these guys, like these bus drivers, look at me and they always and I say, "Hey, I'm 16. Can I get I get the $1 off, coupon kind of thing. 16 and under." And they're like, "You're not 16." They're like, "Let me just whip out my learner's permit that I've had a year longer than I should have had." Anyway. So finally, what else did I want to see this year that I couldn't? Oh, I never got to see Baby Driver because my mom was like, "Yeah, we can go see it." I'm like, "Yes." And then we never saw it because it just didn't work out. God damn it. I never got to see Baby Driver in theaters even though I wanted to. Never got to see Blade Runner even though I wanted to. Even though Blade Runner's still here, it's just like there's nobody that's gonna see it with me. So I could probably sneak in. I think I could probably sneak in. But now once I'm 17 in a month, I could just do everything whenever I want. I can be a loner. I don't have to go to places with friends ever. It'll be great. I won't have to rely on anybody. I won't have to be social at all if I want to see a movie. Ever. Okay, let's see what you guys have been asking here. Tyfly's got a question on Twitter. If this will open up. This is 200 characters, so here. Okay. This is above 200 characters. Okay. What are your thoughts on the iPhone X? Many other design devices now releasing features that can read your facial features. Do you find it to be invasion of privacy or, for lack of a better word, weird? Are you okay? Or are you okay with it, or it just don't care? Are you okay with it, or do you just don't care? Okay. I'm curious to see in terms of like the facial scanner. It's like my big problem with the facial. I mean, I don't know how well it works. Like if you can just get your face from like a side angle, or if it always has to be like straight on. I don't know how effective it is. I know that during like the keynote they had trouble actually like using it. So I guess we'll see how well it works. But like, and apparently it can read in low light, so that's cool. But like, what about darkness? Like 100% darkness, is it gonna work then? Like, and I'm fine with a facial recognition feature. I guess that's technically more secure than a thumbprint, right? But like the fingerprint the fingerprint scanner doesn't always work. Sometimes your finger will be wet for various reasons. Like you've been washing your hands or something, and like the water gets in between you and the thumb and the sensor, and you're like, no, that doesn't work. So it's not like it's perfect, but it works most of the time. So I know that the Galaxy has like an iris scanner, But I don't know how well that one works either. Or is it the is it the Galaxy, or is it the S8? Something like that. Or the Note. It's the Note and the Galaxy. I know one of them has an iris scanner. So do you have to like put that up to your eye, or does it like scan? I don't know. Regardless, in terms of like, I guess that is kind of weird, but like, what is someone gonna do with a scan of my face? You know, like, what's the worst that could happen out of that? Unless we have more technologies that starts popping up that's racial, not racial profiling, like face modeling. So I don't know. In terms of the device itself, I'm curious to see how it's gonna turn out. You know, my phone's technically done with the contract that it's had with AT&T. That's like a 2-year minimum thing. So technically I could get a new phone, but I'd much rather get a new laptop. And the iPhone X is literally like $200 or $300 cheaper than like a new MacBook Pro. So, and I just got this. I was worried before. The reason it was taking me so long to start the stream was that I got this notification that says service battery. It's like on my Mac. So now I guess my battery's in critical condition now. And I was really scared because I used to have this 2008 MacBook where it was like the white one. It's like a glossy white instead of before they went all like metal. And so, geez, that one lasted me until like 2012. That was a real trooper of or 2013 really. I edited some of my all my videos or a good chunk of my videos, before 2014, on that computer. But the problem with that was that over time it started getting really slow, and over time it's a lithium ion battery, so like it expanded, and like the battery doesn't 100% fit in the battery slot anymore. Like in those laptops you can like take the battery out, right? Whereas with these with these new MacBooks, they're like unibody, so you'd have to like unscrew the whole thing to take the battery out. But in those ones, you could just take the battery out. And so, I started getting this notification on it that was like service battery, and it's like, oh, we're getting critical condition. And I'm surprised that this MacBook that I have now has lasted as long as it's lasted, because this is a late 2013 model. So I've been using it for like 4 years now, which is as long as I was using my last one. And I have put this computer through hell and back. Like these streams alone, these streams alone take up 35% of my GPU or CPU. GPU or CPU? CPU. Yeah, it takes up 30% of my CPU whenever I'm streaming, which is a lot. It puts it under a lot of stress. And of course, over the course of this last summer, I was editing blockheads and, rendering that stuff. That just puts my computer through the ringer. I have only like 4 gigs of RAM on this thing, and like 2.4 gigahertz that can something boost up to 2.7. So it's not like powerful at all. So I always figured that I'd probably get a new one whenever by the time I went off to college, but it might have to be earlier. But just because it says service battery doesn't mean it's like dead right away. Like this laptop will last me like an entire day of school, because I use it in like every single class that I'm in, and it'll last me through, like, I don't use it in every single class, but if I did, I could probably like get through the day. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see some other questions. Why isn't he not answering the questions? I am answering the questions. All right. What else? Question. In Jonathan's latest video, there are quite a fair number of Jew jokes, which are hilarious. Would you say creating such jokes are autobiographical in any way? What? If you're asking whether Jonathan or I are Jewish, we're not. For the most part, both of us are fairly agnostic atheist. I think it's safe to say. I just like if you we talked about this a little on the behind the scenes like commentary video for the wedding, which is on his second channel and just uploaded today. If you want to check that out, it's like 21 minutes. And I don't know, since I started writing with him, like, I don't know, I just think Jewish things are funny because I go to a school with a lot of Jews, right? So, like, I've been to a bar mitzvah in my day, just one, but that's all I need. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of potential there with Jews that Brick Filmers don't take a lot of, I guess. Now Jonathan's on board with it all the time with Hanukkah Harry and stuff like that. Palestinian Perry. But yeah, that's neither of us are Jewish, but I guess that is technically autobiographical in the sense that like I'm like I think at least a quarter or a third of the kids in my school are Jewish. I feel like that's a safe estimate. Whether or not they like believe and practice, you know, frequently, that's a different question. But or at least like a third of these students probably come from Jewish families, is what I should say. That was from Hevenira. Logan Dulkin asks, is math the easiest thing on earth? No. No. For most of my schooling life, I found math to be pretty easy. And it started getting a little harder through high school as I got in some of the more advanced classes. But now I'm in IB Math HL, and that is a difficult class. I finally found a challenging math class, like a really challenging one. So I might actually have to start studying for stuff now, which is probably the most arrogant thing ever. For the most part, math comes pretty easy to me, I guess. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, why am I learning this? You know, I'm at the point of math where unless, like, this is the kind of math that I'd be learning if I want to do like calculus or, you know, engineering stuff. Like, there's no practical everyday use. Like, even for like accountants and stuff. Like, I learned that stuff last year. That like stuff that like accountants would use with like exponential graphs and exponential decay and stuff like that. Like, unless I'm a physicist or something, like, I don't know what the use of this stuff is. Granted, I said the same thing about trigonometry, and then I started using trigonometry in physics this year. So, I don't know. It's getting harder, to say the least. People asking more questions. What are your thoughts on people blurring facts with their own personal feelings? Do you think that's okay to do so, or you should try to look at things with more clear and less of a biased judgment? Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's impossible to be like 100% to like there's no practical everyday, you know, engineering stuff.